Done. All right, we're going F101 week 16. It's the Netherlands review and I'm sorry, Monza preview. Wow. And I'm gonna make sure that I can hear myself. Uh, there it is.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
All right, I can hear myself. I'm really loud in my own ear. Great, love that. All right, Netherlands review, Monza preview, Ferrari and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. We'll get to that, but first, what a welcome back to racing. Man, it's like all the drivers knew we were itching for some good entertainment after 4 weeks off, and they delivered. Finishing order was Piastri, Verstappen, Hadjar with his maiden podium, followed by Russell, Albon, Behrman, Stroll, Alonso, Tsunoda, and Ocon, rounding out the points. Colapinto, Lawson, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, Antonelli, and Gasly make up everybody else, and Hamilton, Leclerc, and Norris did not finish. Rough day for a lot of fans of a lot of teams. Good day, Isaac Hadjar, Alex Albin, Ollie Behrman, and Oscar Piastri. Bad day, Ferrari as an organization, as the drivers, as the fans, anyone associated with the team, anyone who's ever thought about the team, anyone who's ever worn red. Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. It was a crazy race. There was so much drama in like every stage. Following practice, I thought it was going to be maybe a little kind of business as usual, but boy, was I wrong. But first, Oscar Piastri nets his first career Grand Slam, which is qualify on pole, lead every lap, win the race, and get the fastest lap, and takes a very strong lead in the championship, taking a 34-point lead over Lando. We were just talking about this. If Norris wins every single upcoming race and Piastri takes second in each, it'll take 7 races for Norris to pass Piastri in the standings. Nate said it was 5. Maybe it is 5. I guess it makes sense. It is 5 if it's a 7 point differential. So 5. It'll take 5 races, and Norris will lead by 1. What happened to Norris? He had an engine failure on lap 65. He was in second, running behind Piastri. Neither of them really put a foot wrong all race. Norris did lose second place to Verstappen on the opening lap after Verstappen made a crazy aggressive move. But he got the place back on lap 10 and was just kind of stuck behind Piastri. Mixed that with a bunch of safety cars. There wasn't really much he could do. But with the engine failure, it didn't really matter. He's following Piastri. He's not really like building up for an overtake. He smells oil, smells fire, smoke. His engine gives out, and really unlucky for Norris. Um, Sad way to go out of the race. But luck plays a part in every championship. We're kind of talking about this as well. Is over the course of the whole season, and does one race ruin your, like, it would suck if you do the math. You're like, oh, Norris would have been in a higher contention, or maybe he would have even won it if he didn't DNF here, if the engine didn't go out. But then also you say, like, well, Oscar would be leading even more if he didn't spin out in Australia, or Norris would wouldn't be in this position as harshly if you know he didn't crash into the back of Oscar in Canada. So it's all, a season. It's all, everything kind of combines at the end of this season, and luck plays a big part in every championship winner. You got to be there to capitalize on luck. If Oscar was in 10th when Norris's engine went out, then it's not as big of a deal. But it's everything it all kind of builds together. And it does suck. But I don't think Norris is just going to give up, and I think it'll still be some really close racing between the two, for the rest of the year. But it's definitely a big swing in Oscar's favor.
I do think that what makes it suck more than the other things is that it felt out of Norris's hands. The
Yeah.
one factor that I will say that can contextualize this as something that was a risk taken to try to win the championship is that, one through line between the fight between these two drivers is that the engineering teams are kind of competing against each other too. And
Well, the
so
strategy.
Yeah. So like,
Not
well,
the
it's kind of
engineering. The engines are the same. They have to be legally.
well, yeah. But I'm just saying that maybe there's something like they took more risks, and then that's what led to this mechanical
So
failure.
originally people thought it was an engine failure. McLaren was like, it's actually a chassis failure, which doesn't make any sense why the engine would fail. But McLaren, like, it's a McLaren issue. It's not a Mercedes engine issue. Um, Part of it could maybe be that. So Oscar, the past few races, was leading a lot of the races, and Lando was chasing him. Not in Hungary, but before that. And maybe is Lando's, because he's having to use more of the car, did that cause his engine to fail? Probably not, to be honest. Um, but that is something to think about as well. The Every team, basically, you get a certain amount of engines, and everyone takes a new engine in Monza. Like, you only use a certain amount of engines per year, and everyone kind of uses their last engine starting in Monza, and then they use it for the end of the year. So everyone's going to take a new engine. Norris has to take a new one anyway. But if something happens and then Norris needs another engine after this, same with everyone else, I guess. But then you take a 10 place qualifying penalty. So there's limited parts, but I think the engine failure. It's better that it happened here as opposed to a week later after everyone had new engines. So, um, the
It would have been really interesting though to see a papaya down and
see
having
what
to
they can
fight
do.
through. Yeah, to see what they do when they actually have to fight through. I think the
Lord
one race that really happened, there were like
God, if
5th
you're
and 6th.
listening, God, if you're listening, make that happen in Austin, a track where you can overtake and where I'll be. That
Because that
would
would be kind
be,
of sick.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to see that, just watch Checo last year and the year
Or else
before,
just what was that Hamilton race this year? He overtook like 10 places.
or the Hamilton Brazil 2021,
Or the
where he
Hulkenberg
he did not
podium.
go from last to first, like the British media says he did. He qualified last for the sprint and finished first in the real race. And the British media framed it as he went from last to first, which he did not. He qualified 10th for the race and then went 10th to first.
See,
So
now
it's a
Nico
little.
Hulkenberg is better than that because he went from 19th to 3rd.
Ollie
So,
Behrman's better than that. He went from pit lane to sixth. So, yeah, it's unfortunate for Lando. It really sucks. It stings. And you don't want to see the championship lost by that moment. But we won't know if the championship was lost here until the end, and I think it really will be till the end, unless it ends in Vegas, and one race before the end.
what I think is a good sign for Orlando that happened this race is actually Verstappen passing him. Because in the beginning of the year when that happened, Verstappen was able to kind of many times hold on to that position,
Hmm.
block out the McLarens, and have some race wins. But this time, I don't know if it's the car is just that much better now, or maybe Lando realized the car is that much better, but he just kind of took it back.
I think it's a little bit of both, and also Lando's very good here.
Okay, yeah, but it
Oh,
was
please
just
say that again.
so like Verstappen had to take a crazy maneuver to get in front of
He
them
almost
wheels.
lost the
Because like,
car. I thought he was gonna crash. I thought he was gonna take out both McLarens.
I mean, yeah, I heard that as a thing that could have happened is that uh, that it was possible that Verstappen takes out Piastri and then
Yeah,
Hadjar wins the race.
that would have been awesome.
Would have been sick.
That would have been amazing.
It would
And
have also been kind of weirdly anticlimactic because Lando would have been so far ahead of
yeah,
Hadjar, and then his engine would just give out, and
yeah,
Hadjar would just win,
be
just like
that'd
that.
be yeah. And Hedger was doing well defending, so.
We'll get into who was doing really well defending and somehow get last place anyway.
So Nate, anything else you'd like to say? We did cover most of what we had already talked about prior to the stream.
No, not really. Really just looking forward regarding that. Kudos to kudos to Oscar. And on that note of if Hadjar would have won the race, that totally would have been sick. Still kudos to him nonetheless. Like crazy to think about how the year started for him and where he is now.
Yeah,
Um, Super dope to see.
yeah. McLaren. So I don't think they can win the constructors by Baku anymore. But it's sealed. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
With the teams behind them, they're not
Can't
really
finish.
showing
They can't
anything
finish in the point.
exciting,
Oh
really.
my
Yeah,
God. It's so bad. All
it's pretty
right.
bad.
The teams behind McLaren will take it one at a time. Verstappen, the home hero, brings it home in second after the Norris DNF. He had a great home race. Wasn't really in contention for a win, but you could tell the way he was driving, he was not letting that podium get away from him. And then Tsunoda qualified in 12th, had a really solid race getting up to 9th. Was it his best race? No. Qualifying still continues to get away from him, but he had a solid race and plenty to build from for the rest of the year. I was satisfied with Yuki's performance in this race. Obviously, I was overjoyed. I was like super happy for Max, getting a podium in your home race. Um, but I was satisfied with Yuki's performance, and I think it's a good showing. He only has 9 races left to kind of get it together, but and I'm not confident. I'm not the most confident in that, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Maybe he'll go to Alpine and reunite with Pierre. They still need a driver.
It was
Um,
it was an okay performance by Yuki. Kind of
yeah, but
it kind of
compared to what
sucks
he's had,
kind of sucks from the Hajar podiums,
yeah.
but it doesn't like we were talking last week or like the preview for this race. How important it is to take this time to reset, especially for certain drivers like Yuki
Mhm.
that really had nothing going into the summer break. And this wasn't like, oh, he's gonna have momentum going to the next race, but it's not putting him back into hell like he was
Right,
before the summer break.
right. And speaking of the big story of the race is Isaac Hadjar. He netted his first career podium, qualified in 4th. I mean, so he definitely earned it. Like, it's not like he didn't get lucky with safety cars or anything. He qualified in 4th. He maintained it all race. He had to defend from Ferraris and Mercedes, pushing up against trying to pass him, and he was pushing up against Verstappen at points. Nothing serious or crazy, but I think he was maybe thinking about it in the back of his mind. Totally deserved maiden podium. He becomes the second rookie of the year to score a podium, which I think is objectively a great thing. Um, and with the Lando DNF, that brought Hydrar up into a podium. It was great seeing the celebrations after. He didn't really know what to do or where to go. But he brought it. He he had a great time out there. He broke the trophy just by simply placing it on the ground. But I think he was like white knuckling the part he was holding so hard it like weakened it. And so when he put it on the ground, it just broke. But congratulations to Isaac. That was great to see. I loved seeing that. That was he definitely had the best day out of anybody, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I won't say it's expected or like it's going to happen, but it's a culmination of like he's had a lot of good races this year.
Hmm.
He's definitely, I think right now he's the best rookie.
Yeah,
And so it's nice that even though he's on kind of the middle of the pack team, he still gets to celebrate a podium this year.
right. And I think I have said previously that I would not be surprised if he got a podium um before the year was up. And he did. And he did. 3rd place. Next up is a win. He's going to win in Monza.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're thinking like, oh, he got lucky because Norris went out, I mean, this year you kind of have to get lucky to get a
Yeah,
podium because
exactly.
like, he was the one who took advantage of that, right? Like Russell could have taken advantage of that.
Wow,
Like
Russell was having
Ferrari
issues.
could have taken-
Russell had damage.
yeah,
But
well,
we'll talk about that as
explain
well.
it.
We'll talk about Russell as well. But in the other V carb, a very flip 180. Lawson spent most of the race fighting with signs. And like basically the whole race just fighting with signs. But the Hadjar podium moves V carb further ahead of Sauber, and they're still behind Aston by 2 points. but they're getting there. They're getting there.
Sainz and Lawson in the back was so funny, and it took like 2 or 3 safety cars for them to catch back up with everyone else.
Sainz
Funny.
got a penalty for overtaking Lawson for like 17th place.
Yeah, then he was asking to see the.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But before we do, we gotta talk about Ferrari. Oh, Ferrari. What a horrible weekend for the team. They qualified 6th and 7th. Hamilton crashes on lap 23. He took a wide line. He lost the car. It was like lightly raining. He put his car on the paint on the curb of the track and just lost it right into a wall. Brings out the first of 3 safety cars with an additional virtual safety car as well. So there were 4 safety cars in this race. And then on lap 53, Antonelli hit Leclerc and sends Leclerc into the wall in the exact same spot that Hamilton went out. Leclerc was coming out of the pits to fend off the undercut from Antonelli, which he personally felt like he didn't need to pit and be in the position to fight and then get hit and crashed. And this has happened before this year. They have pit Leclerc, and then he suffered from it, and he was like, we didn't need to pit. Like, we didn't need to do that. We were fine. And then he spent the remainder of the race sitting alone on a hill.
And posing.
And
for the
posing.
camera.
Yes. Truly a weekend to forget for Ferrari, and just crushing their energy going into their home race. But before the crash, I will admit Leclerc was on something. I don't know what he was on. He was on something. He made the most aggressive move on Russell I've ever seen. He went off track and he hit Russell, and he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna go for it. And then he was fighting with Antonelli. He was on something this race. And then it ended soul crushingly.
It was a great move, and just like Verstappen's, it didn't actually mean anything in the end.
Exactly.
Uh,
So the reason Leclerc was out on the hill alone, I'm sure if you pay attention to F1 in any way, you've seen the memes. It's because the way the place he exited, there was no way for him to get back to the garage without crossing over the racetrack, which you obviously can't do when there's a race. And the only way, there are tunnels underneath the track or like bridges above it or whatever. But those tunnels and bridges would have led him right into like grandstands and like where all the fans are. And they just, that's like, I think it's a safety risk, is why they won't let him just like walk through the crowd, which makes sense. So it's not that he chose to stay up there. He had to sit up there alone.
He made the most of it.
He did. He got his glamour shots.
I had forgotten what I put last week on the Pick the Podium. It says that Hamilton does not podium officially become a Hamilton hater. And
Now you just feel bad.
I feel so bad. Because he got hit with a penalty after the race too.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of kicking him while he's down.
It is true. He has
I'm not a hater anymore. He's just so sad.
He has a 5-place grid penalty for Monza, which is great. Oh man, Ferrari truly just like a horrible. It might be their worst weekend of the year. They had the double disqualification in China, but this is worse. This is worse.
For morale, the one in China is like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, almost a technicality. They're like, what, 0.1 pounds below or whatever.
Yeah, 0.01 kilograms.
Are they the saddest team to be in second ever?
Yes. Yes. It's so rough. It's so rough for the team. Just a weekend to forget, and now you got to go into your home race. And like, it's not like it's like, oh, I'm American and it's Miami, so it's my home race. No, this is like Monza. This is Ferrari's home race. It's not the driver's home race, it's the team. And it is not, the mood has got to be sour over there in Maranello.
Like we're talking about, again, the vibe shift that the summer break might give some teams.
Yeah.
And Ferrari's number one of needing that.
They didn't get it.
They got the worst, actually. They got
It's,
the worst weekend, and that's going to set them up for the
yeah,
rest of the year. I don't think we're going to get one good interview from Hamilton or Leclerc for the rest of the year. I mean,
man
so
who
much
has lost all hope loses additional bit of hope he didn't know he had.
I mean, I've seen Leclerc disappointed after he got pole position.
Yeah,
And it's going to change. He can win a race, I think, and I think he'll still be sad.
we'll
Like,
see.
I won, but, it sucked to see, like, the McLarens get out. Because that's the only way he's going to win the race. Is if the McLarens both DNF.
Right.
You just be sad about it.
I don't know.
This is doomed.
Monza's not going to be their strongest track, but we'll get there. Get there. So that's the for anyone else have anything? Anyone else want to offer their condolences to the Scuderia, or should we just move on?
Yeah, fuck them.
Damn.
Here, I'm like, I'm sad. I've been saying fuck Ferrari after you guys put out your
I
tier list.
I like Nate leading into his villain role as the fan of the leading team.
We were a midfield team when I started following them. All right, let's not act like.
I'm saying for this year, dude, for this year.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
gotta.
I remember when they were a
Yeah.
backmarker team. It was rough. It was rough for a few years over there. So that's Ferrari. Another another team that did not have a great weekend was Mercedes. Russell in fourth is good for the team. It did not come easy. The team told him to give his position to Antonelli at a point, and he literally laughed in disbelief. Like he laughed out loud in the radio. He ultimately followed orders. So he had damage for like most of the race. I don't remember who gave it to him, but somebody did. I think it was Leclerc. Um, but Antonelli passed him. He let Antonelli overtake. It didn't matter because Antonelli crashed into Leclerc and then later sped in the pit lane, and it gave him a total of 15 seconds in penalties. He went from I think it was fourth to second to last. So Antonelli had a horrible time.
But by crashing to Leclerc, Russell got an extra position. So
It's true.
Russell made the correct move, letting Kimi up front.
Sure, ultimately worked out.
Also, I feel like, especially after this race, Kimi is kind of turning into a villain slowly. He's got a lot of crashes, got a lot of aggressive maneuvers.
He's the most joyous looking 18-year-old. He looks so cute and innocent. And he's like, and you're like, he's a villain.
But Leclerc looks so much cute. Like Leclerc's also very cute, so he's like, I don't know.
He's a different kind of cute. I saw a guy in the Ferrari subreddit who was like, "This kid is dangerous. He shouldn't be in the sport." And like all these people, like Ferrari fans, like, oh, come on, man. Like, it's a mistake. I know emotions are running high right now, but like he's not like a terrorist.
No, but I can see the line over like next year. People are gonna be like, "Oh man, this guy's a villain." Like he's on Mercedes too, which automatically is gonna give you a little bit, if you're on a front running team, a little bit of villain status.
with Toto.
Yeah, and so I can definitely see if he continues to be like this aggressive driver,
Toto
becoming
has
the
to be the
villain.
villain of F1 because Horner's out.
It's-
And Briatore
it's-
has no power. The team sucks.
Yeah, Briatore is the villain of F1, but he's like the comedic villain they
Yeah.
put in. I don't know when they're gonna put him in the season. He hasn't really done anything. But when we need some comic relief, we'll get some Alpine action, I guess.
Just wait for Crashgate 2.
It's gonna happen. This is gonna be for no benefit. It's gonna be for 16th place, but it's gonna happen.
Yes, yes. So that's Mercedes. Following them was Williams, tale of two drivers. Sainz qualified in eighth, finished well outside of the points. He collided with Lawson, got himself a 10-second penalty, which he responded with, "Who? Me?" Let's see the stewards after the race. I want to have a talk with them. To which, on commentary, David Coulthard responded with, "Well, it'll be a short conversation because it was your fault." But he didn't even get to talk to the stewards. They said no. He went to talk to them, and they just said, "No, you're not allowed to come in." It was a horrible race for him. After the crash into Lawson, he ended up fighting Lawson again for 17th place. It was really bad. And Albon, however, went from 15th to 5th in a great performance from him. Made up 5 places on lap 1 in the first few corners. Great bounce back for him after his pre-summer break woes. We said you mentioned which teams didn't get the reset they needed after the summer break. Here's a guy who did.
Albon really needed it because we've talked about earlier this season how Sainz is going to be fine.
Mhm.
Like former Ferrari driver, he's going to have a spot next year, whether on Williams or not, probably on Williams.
Yeah,
But Albon's not as clear,
yeah.
and so he really needed this. Sainz can be pissed off for the rest of the year and he'll be fine, but Albon was
It's
really
also
having
Sainz's
trouble
first
for
year
him.
with the team.
Yeah, but Albon was like getting into it with his engineers and
Hmm.
everyone. So having such a good race, hopefully set him up for the rest of the summer and into next year.
Yep. He did really great. He drove. I think he was the third most impressive driver. Hajar being one. We'll get to number 2 in a bit. But before we do that, we got to get to Aston, who were strong all weekend. They were They were really fast, especially in quali. Um, I have here Alonso qualified well while Stroll did it. That's meant to say didn't. He did not qualify well. And then at a point, commentary on both feeds accused Stroll of purposely running over debris to ruin his car, which I think is insane to say to a competitor. It's super unfair. It's super biased. He finished ahead of Alonso anyway, so he didn't ruin his race, and I don't think he did it on purpose. I think that's just like, I don't know. That was weird to me, like that they said that. Um, but the race was really good for the team. It kept them ahead of VCarb, even with the Hadjar podium. So a very strong performance from them. Uh, Sauber had a nothing burger race. They didn't really do anything. They weren't fighting anybody. They didn't qualify well. They didn't do well at all. But they didn't do like so bad where we're like, we got to talk about it. But here is who I think did the second best all weekend. Andrew, get your bragging rights ready. It's Oliver Behrman. He went from pit lane to sixth, made up 14 places in the race. His strongest performance of the year. Easily would have been the most impressive rookie and driver of the weekend if Hadjar didn't get the podium. Just an insane race. One to remember for Haas and one to remember for him, for sure. And
Uh,
that
I mean, I've been saying that. I thought that Ollie. I don't know if Andrew's going to be talking, but I've been thinking Ollie Behrman is a good rookie. The Haas has been so
yeah,
terrible. Like we saw glimpses at the beginning, so I'm glad to see that it's back a bit. Also, getting these points has him tied with Carlos Sainz for the year.
it's
Before
true.
he was last, besides the Alpine drivers, but don't worry about that.
That's his first point finish since Bahrain, which was
Yeah,
11 races ago. 11 F1 weeks ago.
now he's getting close to beating all of Alpine, which many
Let's
drivers
go!
do. I think he kind of deserves it. I'm glad he finally got the points, just like Hadjar finally deserves his podium.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ollie Behrman deserves a good placement in a good race after such god awful car and other things happening since Bahrain.
Yeah. And now we see what he can do with a good car.
Yeah, he can get up to 6 from the pit lane.
Really impressive. And even Hamilton wasn't in sixth at any point in the race, but Leclerc and Norris both were. So you even with the Leclerc and Norris DNFs, he still made up 14 places without those. You know what I mean?
Well, you'd also never expect a Haas to take advantage of those 2 drivers. Like
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
a Haas, 3 drivers go out in front of a Haas. Okay, it's in 17th now. Like, but Ollie Behrman was able to take those places to take advantage. I think that's the thing to take over a lot of these midfield teams scoring big is that they took advantage of the drivers getting out, like a lot of front runners getting out. Like Kick Sauber did not do that.
No, they did not. Ocon's finishing in ninth moves them further ahead of Alpine and closer to Sauber. Alpine, here we go. Alpine with another rough race, even with Antonelli's crazy penalty and the field being bunched up from safety cars. Gasly still finished dead last, and they failed to score a single point, though Colapinto was close. He was 11th. He was close, but he ultimately couldn't get there, even with the 3 DNFs ahead of him.
Even with Gasly. Well, Gasly was like 8th, I think, for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Driving the train, he was fending off like 10 cars for for like 10, 15 laps or something like that, trying to like baby these hards until the end, but he just had no pace left.
Yeah.
I actually think he's been pretty good at defending, I feel, in that slow ass Alpine, which is all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much like what Max Verstappen tries to do with the McLarens. It's like the only way to get points is to get in front of them and just hope they can defend them for the entirety of the race. Unfortunately, he let, I think Stroll passed him, and then that was it.
That opened the floodgates, and then everyone was like, "It's my turn."
He had nothing left. Everyone passed him, and he finished even behind Kimi Antonelli, who had a 15-second penalty or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah. So bad race. Another classic Alpine performance.
And I mean, the opposite side is that Haas did the opposite strategy. So Haas was on hards at the beginning, if I remember correct. That's kind of how Ollie Behrman got so far ahead. He got all those places was because they had a really good strategy of using those hards to gain a lot of positions, and the safety cars were just in a way where he was able to take advantage. And Alpine saw this like, oh, we can do that, but in reverse, and it did not work. It was
No,
awful,
it did
actually.
not. Yeah, rough race for Alpine, and especially when they're trying to do. It's like the George Russell meme: does nothing, gets third. Alpine, it's like does everything, gets last.
Yeah, that was his race, unfortunately.
So yes, certified. So that's the race. Anyone else have anything else to say about the race before we move on?
Lance Stroll is again ahead of Fernando Alonso in the standings. So.
That's my goat.
That is your goat.
It's
I
my
don't know how to
goat.
feel about it. I think it's very funny. I'm pretty sure I heard that they asked Alonso to let Stroll ahead of him. So it was a team decision to let Lance Stroll.
I don't remember that. I'm not saying no, but I
I
personally,
remember someone saying it. I don't know if I believe it, but I want to believe it because I
if
think it's funny.
if it did, it was because Stroll had like better tires or
I think
whatever.
Stroll did also have better tires, but I like to
Yeah.
think it's because he's daddy's boy. Just getting 2 points ahead of Alonso in the standings.
Yes. And before we move on, Andrew, I saw you left and rejoined. Are you here?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was talking, but I guess I wasn't coming through.
No. Anything you'd like to say about Haas before we move on?
We're gonna continue to set expectations properly for the next few weeks too. Don't get too high, don't get too low.
Oh, so I shouldn't have Behrman in first for my pick the podium.
Probably not.
I gotta
didn't
make
know
some
that.
phone calls. I'll be back.
I didn't know my expectations go much lower. I guess they could be Alpine low.
I mean, you can set your expectations however you want, Dave. I just don't want you jinxing them so they're finishing next to Alpine.
Damn.
I'm gonna podium next race.
So yeah,
That's
it's
all I
good.
have to say.
Great race from Haas. Great race from Behrman.
I mean, double
This
points, can't be mad.
true.
I
True,
don't even
true,
know
true.
what that feels like.
No, you don't.
I like for the entire season, actually.
Yeah. Even not only that, you couldn't even take two separate race performances and get double
No.
points.
I can't even imagine two drivers having points. I
Exactly.
feels like I don't know.
And
Three
you have
drivers.
you got three to choose from.
I don't know what it feels like.
Oh man. It's rough out there. Being an Alpine fan is not for the weak. It is for the French.
And I am
Uh,
not French, and I am very weak, so I don't know if I should be an Alpine fan.
It's too late. It's too late.
God damn you, Pierre Gasly, your pink lips.
This week's moving on from that comment. This week's certified Ferrari moment goes to Leclerc, sitting alone and sad on a hill for an entire race after he crashed. Nothing has really captured the vibe of Ferrari more. And pick the podium, close but no cigar. While we all got points this weekend, we have yet to have a weekend where everyone got at least one position correct. Dave and Nate both got right place, wrong position. Everyone else got only first place correct.
Oh, so damn close.
It was. All right, this is it. Monza. Qualifying is Saturday at 10 a.m. and the race is Sunday at 9. Gonna miss the whole race because we'll be at the Ren Fair. Dave might be the only person to actually watch the whole thing. But and I'm a little bummed about that, to be honest, because Monza, I love Monza. It is the temple of speed. It is the home of Ferrari. It is one of my favorite tracks on the calendar, if not my favorite of all time. It's fast. It has the highest top speed and average speed out of any race on the track. It's iconic. It's a place where miracles happen, and Ferrari's gonna need one to keep the home crowd happy. It is the home race of Ferrari. Their Maranello facilities are like 10 minutes away from the track itself. They test on Monza. They do promos on Monza. Monza is owned by Ferrari. It is one of those places that if you're there, it doesn't matter who you're rooting for. You are a Ferrari fan. And seeing them win there is like a dream of mine. I would love to be there for a Ferrari win. Which is kind of glad I'm not going this year. It is also the home race, kind of for V-Carb and Antonelli. Both of them, V-Carb's facilities are right near Imola, and Antonelli grew up in Imola, but they are both Italian, so, it's kind of their home race, although they definitely claim Imola more. McLaren, as we all know, are the team to beat. The dynamic has shifted. Piastri has a growing lead on Norris, and he's going to want to keep increasing that to seal up this championship while he can, while Norris is likely to be on a revenge tour after his engine failure in Zandvoort. I really want to see Norris go balls to the wall. I want to see him put it all out there. I don't want to see him drive careful. I want to see him fucking run someone off the road, man. I want to see it. I want to see some crazy shit from that papaya.
A nice Verstappen and Norris fight, but I think Norris now knows that he could let Verstappen ahead of him, and he's just gonna.
He'll pass him when he needs to.
Eventually, the Red Bull sucks so bad.
Yeah. The question of third should, in theory, go to our usual suspects: Verstappen, Russell, maybe Leclerc. I don't know how effective the Red Bull will be here compared to the Merc. Monza relies on a ton of straight line speed, which I think both cars are pretty even. I can't really say for sure. That is like my one kind of shortcoming is I'm really bad at knowing which cars are better at straight line and which cars are better in like certain like low speed or high speed turns. I can never keep it straight of who's good where. The only thing I know for a fact is Mercedes is good in Canada. That's the only thing I can remember. But I think Verstappen and Russell are going to be in the conversation without a doubt for third place. While their teammates, Tsunoda, definitely not going to be in the podium talk or contention, but he's looking to continue his form from last week and improve on it. While Antonelli, also probably not really in podium conversations, but he could be a threat if there's a mess at the front. So you never know. You can't count him out. He has gotten a podium. He can do it. And Ferrari, man. Ferrari is going to need some real Ferrari magic to even have a chance here. I think a win is out of the question for him, more or less. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leclerc was up in third place. Hamilton, though, is going to really need something special. It is their home race, but the vibes are so abysmal right now. And as bad as the vibes are, they're worse for Hamilton, who is driving poorly, making some big mistakes. And he's got a 5-second penalty or place grid drop going into the race. So it's going to be really rough for Hamilton, I think, to get up onto the podium. I will say, if you are the superstitious type, which I know at least one of you is, I'm not going to name names, Nate, but Nate, listen to this. The last time Ferrari got a double DNF prior to Monza, they got a 1-2 in Monza itself. So
that's not
just food for thought if you wanted to.
Third. They'll likely get a third or a two, maybe a 2-3. I'd go as far as to say maybe a 2-3, but they're not taking the top step.
You can't count out Ferrari magic, Nate. The man from Monaco is the man for Monza.
No, I can and I will.
Maybe someone will sabotage the McLaren engines so that Ferrari can get
another
ahead.
oil leak.
They're gonna have a garage fire.
Lance Stroll is gonna drop debris out on the track. That way, it just comes up and clips the oil filter underneath.
It's Crashgate, but it's all the other teams being like, "Hey, Ferrari needs a win." Like it's the FIA stepping in saying, "Hey,
Italy is on suicide watch, so we really need Ferrari to.
hey, Lance Stroll, can you take one for the team? Lance Stroll, Kimi Antonelli, take one for the team, but this time into the papayas. I know. So what you're going to need to do because they're too fast is you're going to need to drop to the
let them come to lap.
Yeah, take him out.
You just take them out.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
when
want a
they come to
driver,
lap you, just
if you want a driver with the history of taking out people trying to lap him, Esteban Ocon is the one you're looking for.
I knew that was coming next. I knew that was coming next.
Yeah.
He did that, and
Immediately.
Max Verstappen went to actually go fist fight him in the garage. He didn't get the chance to, but he was gonna.
Recently, Yuki and Liam Lawson have had some close calls.
Well, Franco, Colapinto as well.
Colapinto too.
He hit. I actually did hit Oscar. He just didn't take him out.
Yeah, so we got some candidates to try to make this Ferrari 1-2 happen.
We got players on the board.
Players, you are ready and willing to be at the back of the track just to fuck up Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris.
The problem is you got to get Lewis up there. The best he can start is 5th, and that's if he qualifies on pole.
Hey, we'll just Antonelli's gonna crash again. George Russell, I don't know. I guess he had a good race, but recently something's always happening to that Mercedes. So something's gonna happen again.
It's gonna be a Ferrari 1-2 with 18 DNFs.
On a side note, though, I think Max Verstappen could outbox half the grid.
Yeah, he has like a primal rage in him.
I think he could.
Like, who else would be able to outbox Max Verstappen? Like, I feel
Lewis.
So,
Like, if it came to a fist fight, like I think I would take Max over half the grid for sure.
More than half.
S on him. So
Alonso feels like he'd fight dirty and scrappy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Alonso could do it. Maybe.
Honestly, I might take Russell just because he's got the reach.
Yeah, Russell's got some reach.
He does have long arms, yeah.
But I do feel like he'd go down in one punch.
Yeah.
Stroll is a biter. I'll say that.
Yuki wouldn't box, but I think he does like do karate or like something like that.
He's small though. I don't know. Maybe. I think he just his best defense is just kind of looking.
I think Bortoleto would win out of everybody.
Bortoleto looks like he's on the streets of Italy.
Or Franco or Colapinto, both of them, both the South Americans.
Just kind of look like they're scrappy. They've been on the streets. I don't think I probably have, but
no. But oh
Actually,
man.
When Valtteri gets back on the grid, though, I think I would take him.
I'd take Checo over Bottas.
Really?
They're a good fist fighting team. They look like they both could play hockey.
Checo is showing up to the fight with a knife, but
enough about hockey. We're talking about weapons.
Yeah. So anyway, well, maybe that'll be. Maybe we'll do that for one of our winter episodes. Is we'll rank all the drivers on criteria that we each come up with.
Over the summer, if anyone saw those rankings, and so also did her own. Hannah also did her own.
Yes. Yeah, everyone go back and watch the summer episode for some of those tier lists. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Monza. Earlier in the year, that's the Ferrari. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna need a miracle. Early in the year, I said if Williams is gonna get a sneak podium, it would be here in Monza due to their recent performances here and their usual straight line speed. However, I'm not so sure anymore. They aren't as dominant in straight line speed as they used to be. Their package is more solid overall. The big problem, I think, is the competition is just going to be so tough, and Williams seems to fall apart when it gets tough, whether it's reliability issues, driver errors, or strategy mishaps. I don't know if I think they're going to get a podium. But my real sneak podium could. Oh no, continue. Go.
I mean, hold on. In regards to like when it gets tough, how would you describe this past race weekend? I mean, Albon took
One
P5.
race over a whole year.
It's not
You know
his
what I
first
mean?
P5 though. You know.
It's true. It is. It is. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying it's 100% of the time when it gets tough they fail, but a lot of the time this year they have. So
Yeah.
At least one of them fails.
yeah, I just
Whichever
don't
race.
think they're a sneak podium contender anymore. As much as I thought they would have been.
I'm putting Alex P3 this weekend.
Oh, you want to know? You want a real sleeper podium pick? It's Aston Martin. They have the fastest straight line speed out of the cars this year, and they've been quick lately, which is really funny because they keep asking Fernando why they're quick, and he's like, I don't know, and that's bad. That we don't know why we're fast.
It's always the rain. And this past race, there wasn't really any rain. There's like barely any. But I think just the news of rain made Lance Stroll go faster.
Someone
like,
tell Lance is gonna rain in Monza. Who's gonna get a win? Monza weekend forecast.
Does Lance Stroll podium before Alonso?
There's no rain predicted for.
Well, I guess Lance Stroll's in the back.
But seriously, Aston's been really quick. I don't really think they'll be in the podium, but I could see them causing problems for the people up front, even if it's just a temporary obstacle. Their straight line speed has been crazy this year, so I think we could see some good Aston Martin performances. It is also V-Carb's race, home race. We talked about that. Like I said, Imola, but whatever. Hadjar's got more momentum than anyone on the grid, aside from maybe Piastri and Behrman. And the car should be quick here. And I think that they're going to get a solid points haul. I can see a double points finish as long as they keep it clean. A podium, maybe not, but I don't know. Maybe Hadjar qualifies in fourth again. You never know. Sauber.
I mean, this time, if he podiums, he's going to have to outrace Verstappen, I think. I guess
Yeah.
it's possible. Verstappen has shown some. I mean, the car's just so.
Yeah, as I said, I
tough.
don't really think it's going to happen, but I could see him getting up there. Yeah. Sauber is going to want to get their hype back after a really bad Dutch Grand Prix, and it's going to come down to how they can qualify, because I think they can probably hold off any of the midfield teams that are behind them, especially Bortoletto. He's been really quick lately, and I think I think he is going to be the better Sauber once the weekend is over. Haas, as we've said, coming off a strong weekend, they're going to want to keep that going here in Monza. I don't know how well they're due. I think their straight line speed is among the slowest of all of the cars. I think they're really not great in the straight line speed. So they could be in for a rough time here. But if the car shows up, we know what both drivers are capable of. And we could see it's so hard this year to be like, oh, this midfield team's going to do better than this midfield team because no one knows what's going to happen anymore. Because Hadjar is going to get a podium randomly, and Nico Hulkenberg is going to get a podium randomly, and Oliver Behrman's going to start in the pit lane, and everyone's going to go, oh, he's not going to do anything all race, and he's going to get up to sixth. So I don't know what's going on in the midfield.
Podium. I can hear from Andrew's chuckles that he has very high expectations for this race.
Yeah,
So
I think Andrew's predicting a double. Andrew texted me his podium, but I think he's changed it, and he's going to have a double Haas.
Yeah, 1-2, not even just 2-3. 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2. Yeah, 18 DNFs, double Haas, 1-2. And finally, Alpine. Gasly has won here in Monza in an incredible race in 2020. One of my favorite moments, memories watching that live. It was beautiful. And he loves it here, and I would not be surprised if he got up to Q3, as we know he can. I think points are really on the table. And Colapinto last year, this is kind of when he stubbed in for Williams, like for Sargent, and he did really well here. Which should give him hope, especially with Briatore breathing down his neck. Briatore has been like, it's a mistake to bring him in. We should have kept doing. He's on a race-by-race basis. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Flavio. I used to be married to Heidi Klum.
We still have Doohan. We can always put Doohan back.
No.
I think that Colapinto has been so close to getting points. I think that Colapinto has a better shot at getting points the rest of the season than Hamilton has at getting a podium. That's
wow. That's bold.
I don't know who that's sadder for. That's a conversation. to get any points or to get Hamilton to get a podium, but that's what I believe. That's what I'm sticking with. Also, what do you think would be this equivalent of a win in an Alpine? Like, what position do you have to get?
Points.
Like, just points is the same as a win, just as winning the whole race.
I think for Colapinto, it's points. For Gasly, it's like upper half of the points, 5th and above.
Yeah, I don't think he's on 5th or above yet.
No,
Maybe in a sprint race.
I think he's gotten 6th in a real race.
Yeah, I think that's the highest he's gotten so far. So yeah, P5 is the equivalent of that's like a 10 out of 10 driving right there to get P5 in Alpine.
They podium. They got a They got a 2-3 in Brazil last year.
Yeah, do you think that's gonna happen this year?
Depends how much it rains.
Depends how many people crash.
So that's Monza. It's a very special racetrack, and it always produces a good race. So we should be in for a good weekend, a fun weekend, a nice treat. And like I said, I'm gonna miss most of it, so I'll probably watch the race replay before writing up the F101 stuff. But it's gonna be. I think it'll be good. You know, everyone hoping for some Ferrari magic. I'm sure, except for Dave.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when we get to pick the podiums.
Well, we're here.
Hamilton hater.
We are here. It is pick the podium. All right, I'm going first. I think minors. I'm actually literally just doing the same one I had last week. Piastri, Norris, Leclerc. I don't think I need to explain it. I think Leclerc is going to get the magic here. I think he's going to get on the podium. I all day was really thinking, do I want to put Hamilton in third? But then I was like, I can't. With if he didn't have the penalty, I would, but he does. So it's hard for me to put him up in third. It pains me. I want him to be there, but I can't do it. Nate,
Am I still second?
you are still second by 11
Wow.
points.
Okay, sick. It's not supposed to rain.
It is not supposed to rain. So I know you wanted Stroll in first,
Like
but
at all through the weekend, like not even during like Wally or practice.
it's what it said.
Word. All right. Well, you know who I got in first.
Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll, yep. All right.
Valid. Not gonna lie. I think we're gonna see some conspiracy theories. I think Oscar's gonna have some whack stuff happen. People are gonna be like, the garage is sabotaging him. And I think it's gonna keep him from the podium. I don't think Oscar's gonna take second. Maybe this is also, copium. But yeah. I think we see Leclerc rebound.
Hamilton.
Actually, you know what? No, I don't think we see Leclerc rebound. I think Ferrari's still going to screw this up for themselves. And I think we're going to see Verstappen in second. And I'm putting my spite pick of Albon in third.
All right. Very
Damn.
very interesting. We'll see. We will see.
Conspiracy theorist weekend.
All right. Andrew?
I'm actually changing mine up a little bit from what I texted you.
I knew it. Bearman, Ocon, no one. There you go.
No, we're gonna go Piastri, Norris, 1-2, and then I'm gonna follow you, Max. I think Ferrari has a better straight line speed than the Red Bull does, so let's go Leclerc in 3. With a side prediction that Bearman actually probably will not finish in the points.
Damn.
Damn.
And Sam's is Norris, Piastri, Verstappen. You and Sam had the exact same predictions at first, Andrew, and then you just changed yours. So we've got 2 Piastris and 2 Norrises in the front.
Okay, well, my P3 is going to. I think I might actually get some more points this week. My P3 is Lando Norris.
Okay.
I think he was pretty sad this weekend, but you can only be so sad when you're second in the championship. And you still have a chance to get the first. I think the second saddest person this week was Leclerc. So he's my P2.
Okay. And so Hamilton.
This is a P1. He's gonna win. So sad. This is not actually my predictions. This is just the ranking of who is so sad this week.
Oh, damn it.
I did think about no, that is my prediction as well. I did think about putting Sainz instead of Norris because, but that was more anger than sadness.
Mm-hmm.
So Sainz can be in his own. He's got his own tier list over there of being super fucking angry.
Well, we will see. I think no matter what, it's going to be a good race. And Nate, if you're correct and Norris wins, I think if you don't get a perfect, then I think I'll still barely be ahead of you. So
if I get a perfect, or
if you don't, if you get a perfect, then you take the lead handily.
Oh, word.
Am I mathematically?
I doubt I get a perfect this weekend.
Am I mathematically eliminated yet?
Yes, I think so.
Is that a real question?
I think you were mathematically eliminated when your predictions for Australia were Gasly, Leclerc, Behrman.
Hey, that was a good prediction.
You have Lawson winning 2 races in a row. You have Colapinto winning.
Hey, that week I tried to put Colapinto 3 times and you said no.
Yeah, I did say no. Just because I keep stats of how many, and I'll do a big reveal at the end of how many times we chose each person. And choosing Colapinto 3 times fucks with it.
Hey, my pie chart. Your guys is gonna be so boring. My pie chart's gonna be amazing of who I picked.
I'm not making pie charts. I'm just gonna go through the numbers. Who do
making
you think I am? I'll give you the numbers, and you can do what you want with them. How about that?
And diversity, okay?
Oh man, well, that's F101 Week 16 Monza. We'll be back next week for the Monza review. No race preview because there's a week off of racing, but we will be here to talk about Monza and all of the spectacular things, and we'll all be here to celebrate the inevitable Ferrari 1-2.
I do have one last thing to say to lead the people off.
Mm-hmm.
Stroll, because Stroll's a biter, that's why he's a certified eater and not a certified eater, if you know.
You had to be here. You had to be here. That's all I can say about that. If you're watching this on YouTube, what should you comment? I don't know. I didn't really think about it this time.
Swinging in a boxing match.
Yeah. Who do you think's winning in a boxing match? Yeah, I like that, Andrew. I like that. Who's winning in the boxing match?
Or if you're into feels, write a sad haiku for Hamilton.
Yes, or Leclerc. It's okay. You can write for Leclerc too.
Or Leclerc, but that you gotta make that one really aesthetic and picturesque.
Yes. So if you're in there, do one of those things in the comments. Or tell me who's gonna win in a boxing match, or write a sad haiku. For bonus points, tell me who you think would last the longest against prime Mike Tyson. Between me, Andrew, Sam, and Nate, not between the drivers.
Yeah, and then after that, lasts longest.
Even though they have no idea who we are.
That's fine. Off of vibes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Good night. Thank you guys for being here.